Hello everyone, it's Seiji and welcome to my stop on the blog tour for When the Ground is Hard by Mala Nunn. I would like to thank Penguin Random House as well as Penguin Teen for inviting me and sending over this book. I really enjoyed reading it. So today's video will be a review as well as a, time lapse of me painting this piece of art which was inspired by the story as well as the book cover. So yeah, let's just jump into it. When the Ground is Hard is a book about two biracial girls called Adele and Lottie who go to a mixed-race boarding school. Adele is considered to be one of the popular girls until at the start of the new semester, her best friend Delia drops her for a girl that has more money and more prestige. Completely falling off the social ladder, Adele is forced to share a room with Lottie, who is basically the school's pariah. Coming from completely different social classes, Adele despises Lottie and they often clash. Despite this, they slowly manage to bond over a copy of Jane Eyre, and Adele starts to realize that the world isn't that black and white. I read this last week in one sitting because I was really intrigued by the story. What made it such a unique book to me were the topics that it presented. I mean, colorism and social hierarchy based on race aren't things you typically see as prominent themes in YA literature. Friendship, however, I would say was the main theme, and I think that construct of the first two being the underlying themes and the latter the driving one is what made it so appealing. It never felt like this huge info dump, but it was rather just a book about two people who, despite their differences, became friends. The story is told from the perspective of Adele, so you really get a good look into her views and thoughts. And I'm not going to lie, some things were a bit of a hard pill to swallow, especially as a black person. The book is set in 1965 Swaziland, which at the time had not yet gained independence from Britain, so Adele held a lot of those colonial sentiments. She had this sort of Eurocentric worldview that basically boils down to white good, black bad. Yeah, yikes. In the book, Europeans are called the kings and queens of everything, gods who draw lines on maps and write the laws. And although it was at times a bit, cringy to read, it served as such an important piece for the framing of the story as well as the characters, in the sense that really was how people thought in that period. And so Adele at the start of the story was pretty ignorant. She looked down on people who had less money or were of a lower social standing. And despite this, I couldn't really hate on Adele considering the environment she grew up in. I mean, it's not that surprising that Adele turned out this way, seeing that her mom would say stuff like, "Praise Jesus," for her not having kinky hair. Either way, when she has to share a room with Lottie, you can see sort of her ignorance in full-blown action. She starts hiding her food because she thinks Lottie will go and eat everything because she's so poor and hungry. The interesting thing, however, is that Adele quickly notices that the prejudice she has towards Lottie aren't really in accordance with how Lottie truly is, and when they manage to find common ground and start reading Adele's copy of Jane Eyre together, she really starts to change. I just thought it was great to see how Adele, through her friendship with Lottie, emancipated herself. There's this point where she says, "I live in a different country from the pretties now, a country where I hear my own thoughts and share my food because eating and reading at the same time is wonderful." I just relished in their friendship and seeing how they both influenced each other for the better, Lottie becoming a bit softer and Adele getting a mind of her own. It was great, so I really enjoyed this one. So yeah, this is the end result. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you very much for watching and I will see you in the next one.